Hey everyone, it's Norm here from International Motor Cars, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some reasons why you should buy a Porsche Cayman GTS. Now in front of us, obviously here is our 2018 718 Cayman GTS. Now the majority of these reasons are going to apply to all different generations and trims of the Cayman. There is a couple that is specific to the 718 generation, which I do break down. So perhaps you're a Cayman owner and these are just going to confirm why you bought your car, or perhaps you're looking to get into your first sports car and considering a Cayman. So stick around. I'm going to go through some reasons right after I show you a couple cool shots of this car. So the first reason that you should buy a Porsche Cayman is the fuel economy. Now I will say this is relevant to the newer models which have the turbocharged engines. So this particular Cayman GTS, it's powered by a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Still makes a ton of power, it's very peppy, but it gets a combined city and highway mile per gallon of 21. So I think it's about 25 on the highway and about 19 in the city, which for a sports car like this that you can do some spirited driving in, to have a car that does 21 miles per gallon is actually very impressive. And as you can see here, I've done just about 300 kilometers of driving, semi-spirited, nothing too crazy, and we've still got 574 kilometers of range, about 3/4 of a tank full. So this car, you know, with a full tank of gas, which is, you know, let's say $80 a premium, you're gonna get 750 to 800 kilometers of range, which again in a sports car like this is very impressive and definitely a reason why you should consider a Porsche Cayman. The next reason why you should buy a Porsche Cayman is quite simply they have quite a wide variety and range of models that appeal to all different price, budgets, desirability in terms of if you're looking for something a little bit more collectible, or if you're looking for a track car, or if you're just looking for something you can daily drive. So, you know, with that, you could really be looking at an early 2006 base model with the 2.7, which, you know, if you buy something with not super high mileage, I'm going to think you can still buy something maybe in that mid 20,000 range. Obviously, if you go to the 3.2 with the Cayman S, you're probably going to be 30 plus for, definitely for a nice one, but you'll probably find an S for 30-ish. And then moving on to the newer ones, you know, with the facelift in 2012, they introduced the Cayman R, which is definitely a more collectible, sort of the first track-focused Cayman, which is a very cool car, very desirable, very rare. And then, you know, moving up to these new ones, like if you buy a new 718 Cayman or Cayman S, that is just a great all-around daily driver. Like I said, promotes amazing fuel economy. It's a sporty car that's fun to drive. And then same thing, you can get into a Cayman GT4, which is the, let's call it their track weapon. Very desirable, very rare. I think collectible as well at the same time. So, you know, Cayman GT4 being at the top of the range, and those are going to be trafficking for 120 plus. But still, 120 for a very rare, very collectible Porsche is actually a pretty good deal in car markets like today. And then, of course, what we're in here, this is the 2018 GTS. So this is sort of that mid-ground between the 718 Cayman S and the 718 Cayman GT4. So this has a little bit of both worlds in it, let's say, but still all the daily drivable features. But simply the wide variety of range and appeal in their trims is a great reason why you should consider buying a Porsche Cayman. All right, reason number 3 why you should consider buying a Porsche Cayman. And this is going to tie in nicely with the previous reason, and that's value for what you buy. Regardless of what trim of Cayman you decide to buy, whether it's a entry level, 06, or all the way up to a new GT4, these cars are going to hold their value. Simple as that. The Porsche market is always commanded strong numbers, whether or not we're in a hot market like we are right now. But if you buy, think about it, if you buy an early, clean, especially manual transmission Cayman for, let's say, that mid-20s, doesn't matter. You have that car for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, it's always going to be worth that mid-20s. It's not going to go down unless you mile it out or, abuse the car, condition and mechanically. And that goes right up to a car like a Cayman GT4 in the sense of, let's say you buy one for 100, 110, 120, and you don't mile it out, you don't track the hell out of it, you don't, abuse it cosmetically and mechanically. That car, I think, will always maintain those sort of numbers. And if you buy it smartly and sharply in car markets like this, you also have that upside appreciation, particularly on something like a GT4, or if you're really baller and go for a club sport, which I think are like 250, 300 grand, something like that. You've got that long-term appreciation with the Porsche brand that, it wouldn't be unheard of that you buy a Cayman GT4 for that 120 range, and in 5 years it's worth 150 or 170. Like, we've seen some absolutely crazy appreciation numbers lately on cars like this. But without getting your hopes up on that, the car is always going to maintain pretty well what you paid for it and what it's worth, and be very desirable and easy to sell. So that right there, reason number 3 why you should buy a Porsche Cayman. All right, reason number 4 why you should buy a Porsche Cayman. And as you get a little bit more of a point of view driving here, you can just see the cockpit, you can see the view, and that just leads into how precise this car is. Everything about the steering, the shifting, everything is just very precise, very refined, and a very nice car to drive. The gearboxes in Porsche are just very smooth, very effortless, and a very nice feeling transmission. It's not like jerky or anything like that. And the steering, very pointed, very precise. We'll just downshift here to pass this truck, and you can see effortless. Everything about that, just absolutely effortless. Steering, you just point it and it goes. This car, on the corners and twisties on a mountain road like this is where it really shines over anything else, really. With a car like the Porsche Cayman, you really have confidence in every aspect of your drive. You've got confidence in the brakes, you've got confidence in the acceleration if you need to overtake someone, you've got confidence in tight corners if you're steering. It really is a confidence-inspiring car. It's not something scary to drive, like a lot of sports cars could be, especially to maybe people who are new to buying a high-performance car. So it's a great entry-level sports car for somebody, and if you're more seasoned and you're getting into something like a Cayman GT4 as well, it's an absolutely excellent car. And for those reasons right there, that's number 4. why you should buy a Porsche Cayman. All right, reason number 5 why you should buy a Porsche Cayman, and that is reliability. I know this sounds crazy. People watching this, maybe who never owned a sports car, think, oh, it's a Porsche, it's going to be expensive to service, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg. Not really. Certain services will cost more than, you know, a non-German car, but the frequency of them is significantly less. So if you spend, you know, $200 on an oil change relative to, let's say, 100 or even 50 on some cars, but you may not need to do it more than every 15 or 20,000 kilometers. So, you know, 1/3 or 1/4 of the amount, of the amount of times on, you know, like a Lexus or something like that. So the service costs actually not that high, and of course, you know, you can take this thing to an aftermarket shop. It doesn't need to go to a Porsche dealer, and you're not going to get that Porsche tax. Like an oil change at our shop is probably $100, and Porsche, I'm gonna just guess, $600. So you don't need to go to a Porsche dealer to service it. You know, like brakes, I'm sure, again, Porsche is gonna tell you they're $2,000. Well, I bet you we can do a brake job on this for like $200 for pads, maybe even less. So, and again, that ties in with these cars are reliable. They're not ticking time bombs. So those reasons right there, the reliability and relatively low cost of servicing, is reason number 5 why you should buy a Porsche Cayman. All right, reason number 6, and my final reason why you should buy a Porsche Cayman, is this right here. Yes, that's right. The fact that this car has a manual transmission still available to this day as an option. Most sports cars over the past 5 to 10 years have completely gone away with manual transmissions. Ferrari gone, Lambo gone, McLaren doesn't offer one. What else? Aston Martin gone. None of the cars today still offer a true manual transmission. And of course, we've seen that appreciate older manual exotic cars, whether they're older Ferraris, Lambos. Obviously, Porsches with manual generally attract a premium. So the fact that you can still buy a Porsche today with a manual transmission, right there is the number 1 reason why you should buy a Porsche Cayman. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell. We want to get our subscribers up this year. We only get about 10% of our watch time from subscribers, so I don't know what you guys are doing, but hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.